Hey, brother. Our mother just came to our house saying that she was kicked out of her house by you and your wife. She came to me for help. Just what do you think you're doing?
Oh, hello, Matea. It's been a while since we last talked. But you don't even greet me and immediately just start giving me compliments?
It is not the time for greetings. We need to get straight to the point here. I'm asking you, what the hell do you think you're doing kicking Mom out of her own home? Mom is the owner of that house, right? Not you.
What? What are you talking about? I'm the owner of this house, not Mom. I'm the supporter of this family, so I can decide who lives here and who doesn't. And I decided that my wife could live with me, but not my mom.
What are you talking about? That house used to be Mom's parents' house, so it's only natural for her to continue living there. I don't care if you're the supporter of the family or whatever.
I'm the pillar of this house. I inherited this house from our father who passed away. And Mother is just a parasite that doesn't even have a job.
Huh? What in the world gave you that idea? That house has belonged to Mom ever since her parents passed away, not Dad, and certainly not you. Besides, what are you talking about when you say Mom's unemployed?
I mean, she quit her job when she was 46 because she was feeling ill, right? She's been a housewife ever since and never got another job. I mean, she says she does actually have a job, but she just stays in her room whenever she's not doing housework. Apparently, it's still a few years until she's able to receive her pension, but it looks like she has no intention of working, which means that she has zero income. I.e., she's unemployed. That means that she can't get by without relying on my salary, right? My wife is saying that she doesn't want to be bullied by my mom anymore as well, which means I have no choice but to kick her out.
Still, what are you thinking, suddenly kicking her out without even letting her prepare first? All she has was her phone and wallet when she got here. A lot of her stuff is still in that house, right?
If that's what you're worried about, then don't worry. Because we're going to be throwing her stuff away the next garbage day. Her stuff is just going to take up space here.
What? You can't just throw away Mom's stuff.
But actually, I can since I'm the supporter of his family. You see, I'm planning on making Mom's room my hobby room. I'm going to immediately throw away anything that I think is a nuisance.
Don't. I'll come and take her stuff.
What?
All you want is for Mom's stuff to be gone from that house, right?
Well, yeah, but...
If that's the case, then I'll come and take her stuff.
Oh, is that so? I guess that's good timing then. I have no intention in providing money for any parasite. So you take care of your mother from now on.
What? You're going to let Mom live with me from now on?
Yeah. If you've got a problem with me kicking her out, then you can take care of her yourself.
I see. So I'm going to be living with Mom from now on, huh?
You see? You scolded me for kicking Mom out, but you yourself don't want to provide for her.
Yay! I get to live with Mom now.
Huh? Why do you sound so happy about it? You do realize that you're going to have to provide for her since she's unemployed, right?
Just shut up already, Renato. I can't even bother to explain it to you anymore since you clearly aren't listening to a word I say. I'll gladly let Mom live in my house, but don't come to me later saying that you actually want Mom to live with you, all right?
Why would I say that? Who would want to provide for a parasite?
Nice. So I have your promise then. I'm not going to take it back no matter what, all right? Oh, I'll come and get Mom's stuff this afternoon, so don't mess with it, all right?
This is not how I thought you'd react, but okay. It's not my problem. Besides, why do you sound so sure that I'm going to go and ask Mom to return later on anyway? What? You think I'm going to get lonely or something? Get real. Wow. So you seriously did take all of Mom's stuff with you?
What are you talking about? You're the one who kicked her out, aren't you?
Matea? Are you in your right mind?
Huh? What do you mean by that? Of course I'm in my right mind.
I mean, you're a housewife just like your mother, right? Besides, you've got a husband, right? Did you ever get your husband's permission to let Mom live with you guys?
Yeah, I told him about the situation. He was furious when he heard what you did to our mother, and he agreed instantly.
Oh, is that so? Tell this husband of yours it's none of his business.
Oh, and by the way, I'm not a housewife. I'm still working just like I did before getting married.
What? Really? Well, never mind then. We're just happy that there's one less mouth to feed now that Mom is gone.
I'm going to ask you this again, but are you sure you're not going to say you want Mom to come back later on?
Huh? I already told you I'm not. You're the one that should be making promises not to give me back Mom later on. Don't say later on that you actually don't want her at your house because supporting her is too expensive, all right?
Of course I won't say that. There are only good things that will come if we let Mom live with us.
Huh? What do you mean only good things? You'll have to pay for her expenses because she's unemployed, you know?
I think times are going to get tough for you two now that Mom is gone, but do your best with that unemployed wife of yours, all right? Because I know that you barely make any money and Mom's salary was the main source of income in that house.
Huh? But I already told you Mom doesn't have a job. Don't tell me you actually believed her when she said she worked from home or something, did you? Don't be fooled by her, Matea. She's just playing some sort of video game on her computer. Seriously, I'm worried about you, Matea. You're not thinking straight. Matea? I just wanted to check in. Supporting Mom is more expensive than you thought it was going to be, huh?
Not really, actually. It's the other way around, really. She's the one who's been helping us a lot.
What?
Until now, my husband and I split the housework between us, but now Mom's here to help us as well. Thanks to her, I can spend more time on work. She's been a real help.
Yeah, but even if she does the housework, she's just a money-eating parasite, right?
Seriously? You're still saying that?
What's your problem? All I'm doing is telling you the truth.
Mom isn't unemployed, you know.
Huh? I already told you she's just lying when she says she has a job, Matea.
No, she's not lying. And she doesn't play video games on her computer all day either. She just works from home like me. Mom's been using her expertise to help me with my work for 5 years now.
Huh? What do you mean, Mom's expertise? What do you mean she's helping you with your work?
Sorry, but I'm actually very busy right now doing said work. So bye.
Wait, hold on. Mom seriously had a job? Hey, Matea? About this expertise of Mom's that you told me about last time? Did you mean that she was an expert on housework or something? And by her job, did you mean that you paid her to do housework and now you're hiring her as your maid?
Did you forget that Mom used to work at a movie production company? My job is video editing, so she's using her experience at her time working at the movie production company to help me.
Oh, so that's what you meant. Now that you mention it, I guess Mom did used to do something like that when we were kids.
Besides, there's no way I'd treat my own mom like a maid. I hope I'm wrong, but don't tell me that ever since you and your wife moved into Mom's house when Dad died 1 year ago, you've been treating Mom like a maid and making her do all the housework, have you?
Huh? I would never do such a thing.
Maybe you would never do such a thing, but what about your wife?
You see, my wife is actually a very busy person, so she doesn't have time to do the housework.
Seriously? But isn't she unemployed? Tell me, what in the world is she busy with?
My wife is a professional influencer on social media, and she says that it's very difficult work.
I see. A professional influencer, huh? It's no use lying to me, Renato. Mom already told me everything. Anyways, I'm still working, so bye.
Matea, I can't take this anymore. This is terrible. I know I promised I wouldn't ask you. But please give me Mom back. I'll come and pick her up today.
Huh? You can't just break your promises, Renato. Didn't you say yourself that you didn't want a money-eating parasite to have to provide for?
I was wrong. Let's just pretend that promise never happened. It doesn't count because if I had known Mom had an income, I never would have kicked her out. This is you and Mom's fault for not explaining it to us sooner. That promise was unfair since you knew that I was at a disadvantage. It just doesn't count anymore, so give her back.
But Mom said that she actually did explain to you that she had a job. And I myself recall explaining it to you several times, but you never seemed to understand what I was saying.
It's not that I didn't understand, I just thought that she was lying. Come on, Matea. I didn't know working from home was a thing people did now.
Yeah, she said that you just laughed it off and called her a liar, saying that you've never seen her do work. I heard that even before you kicked her out with only her wallet and phone, you would often call her a money-eating parasite.
I mean, she really didn't look like she was doing any work.
That's what you get for being so stubborn and unwilling to accept new ideas, Renato. You deserve everything that's happening to you. Apparently, it's been really rough for Mom ever since you and your wife barged into her home, moving in before Mom could even object.
What?
Yeah, she said that your wife literally never did any housework, and she would often bully Mom into doing what she said. Apparently, she was constantly sleep-deprived for a time because she tried to do both her job and the housework.
Well, that's... I heard from my wife that she did all the housework, and Mom just stayed in her room and did nothing all day.
She does work when she's in her room. Your wife is the one that does nothing all day. Your wife probably got used to that lifestyle, right? Tell me, what's the situation inside the house right now?
That's what I was trying to tell you. Ever since Mom left the house, it's been a literal dumpster. Whenever I take a step, I stir up a cloud of dust. And the floor is so covered in garbage that you can't even see it anymore. My wife never does the laundry as well, so we've been wearing the same clothes over and over. Not only that, but the only thing in our refrigerator is beer. And all we eat is either fast food or we order takeout or lunchboxes from the convenience store.
Oh, is that so?
Please, Matea. I know you can't see me, but I'm bowing to you on my knees right now while crying.
Why the hell would that matter to me?
It's fine if she doesn't live with us anymore, but at least let her come by and clean the house once in a while. I don't know, maybe 4 times a week or something? I'm not breaking my promise and she's not going to be living with us, right? Let's make a compromise.
Yeah, except you never had the right to ask for Mom to come back in the first place, so it is not a compromise. Besides, if Mom goes to and from our houses 4 times a week, she's going to collapse from overwork. It's also very expensive to get from your house to mine.
What? Come on, you're over-exaggerating. It only takes 30 minutes by car or train to get to and from our houses.
What? Didn't I tell you already? The 3 of us moved recently. We now live halfway across the country, and we would need a 2-hour plane ride to get from our house to yours.
Huh? You moved?
Yeah. I remember I told you when we were visiting Dad's grave. I said that we were going to be moving to Sicily soon since my husband was relocated at his job. Jesus, Renato, I guess you really just have 0 listening skills.
Sicily? Where in Sicily?
I won't tell you.
Why not?
Because if I tell you, you might cause us problems.
Huh? I'm your brother. You can't talk to me like that. What do you mean I'll cause problems for you anyway?
Don't you realize that you're causing us problems right now by texting us? Oh, and I don't know, maybe you'd suddenly show up at our house one day and try to take Mom with you or something.
I would never do anything of the sort. I'm your older brother, Matea. Please. Tell me where you guys live, now!
I'll consider telling you once you two get your shit together and you're no longer begging Mom to come back. Oh, and by the way, Mom says that...
Oh, so she's willing to come to our house to do the housework after all?
No, she said that she sold the house, so you two need to move out by the end of this month.
What did you just say? But I inherited this house when Dad died. She can't just sell it.
I already told you several times that that's not your house, you dumbass. That house used to belong to Mom's parents, and Mom inherited it when they passed away. Which means that she's the owner of that house, not you.
But I'm the pillar of this family. I get to decide everything that happens in this house.
Just shut up already. I don't care if you're the fucking pillar of the family. Mom is the one who owns that house. I don't need to tell you this, but Mom was also the one who paid for the land tax all this time.
Tax? You have to pay tax if you own a house?
Yes. Mom can sell that house whenever she wants to. She says that she wants you two to go clean the house before you leave, since the new owners are going to be moving in soon.
What? You're telling me we need to clean this place up? This place is a dumpster!
If you don't want to clean it yourselves, then hire a house cleaning service, but you're going to have to pay for that yourself, because we certainly aren't.
What? Seriously? How much does a house cleaning service cost?
Look it up yourself. Although judging by how dirty you say the house is, then it's definitely not going to be cheap. Well then, goodbye.
Hey, wait! You're not going to at least help us clean this place?
No thanks. Why would I want to do that? Bye. They had 1 month to leave Mom's house when me and Renato had our last conversation. Renato doesn't earn a lot of money and his wife is unemployed, so they decided to not hire a house cleaning service and just do it themselves. Somehow, they managed to clean the place up as Renato managed to get his wife to help, even though she refused at first. To be honest, I was a bit proud of them, since it seemed that all they needed was a motive, then they would actually do the work. But since they were so busy cleaning up, they forgot to do the laundry. And the uniform Renato wore to work started to seriously stink. Not only that, but Renato was also frequently late or absent to work. And when he made a serious mistake at his job, his company finally had enough of him and fired him. Also, apparently they only realized that they hadn't planned on where to go after they left Mom's house on the day they had to leave. Panicking, the two of them went to the job hunting center and managed to find a job that came with housing. However, this new job of theirs paid worse than Renato's last job. And it was also the kind of place where unpaid overtime was seen as natural. Unable to gather their wits and think up a plan to improve their lives, Renato and his wife slowly spiraled into a life as miserable as one could imagine.
Stop wasting your time and get to work. I'm watching your every move, got it? Don't make me repeat myself. Your only duty as the younger wife in this house is to keep everything spotless, especially when we have guests.
Work? There's nothing left to do. I've done the dishes, the vacuuming, the dusting, the windows, the stairs, the kitchen, the trash. You name it, I've done it.
What about the laundry? Did you do that too?
Of course I did. Look, everything is neatly folded and ready to be put away. I even changed the sheets on the sofa. There's literally nothing else for me to clean or do for you. I'm out of ideas.
Is that how you want to play it? The family will be here any minute, and you have to impress them with your cleaning skills. If they find one speck of dirt or one wrinkle, I'll make sure you pay for it. Can you handle that? It's a lot of pressure, and they're much tougher than me.
Then why don't you do me a favor and check if I missed anything? That way we can both be happy with the results, and I won't have to worry so much.
What? Are you saying you can't take responsibility for your own work? That's what it sounds like to me. you lack the confidence to do it yourself, that's not my job. You should be able to clean and do chores without me looking over your shoulder and correcting your mistakes.
Fine. But you know what? This is how it always goes with you. I ask you to help me out a little, just to avoid trouble later, but you never do. You always find something to complain about. It's almost like you want me to fail.
Well, if you don't want me to complain, then do a better job at cleaning what I tell you to clean. If you can do that, then maybe you'll be a decent wife for my son.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding. I've been to hundreds of fancy hotels and have always criticized their cleanliness. So if you can make me shut up about your cleaning, then that means you're better than hundreds of hotels. That should make you proud, right?
What? Hundreds of hotels? That's ridiculous. All you're doing is showing off how snobby and picky you are.
You're such a headache. I think I need to teach you some manners, since your parents obviously didn't. Unlike you modern women, when I married my husband, my mother-in-law trained me to be perfect at everything. And now I have to deal with this new generation of lazy and sloppy wives. I can't stand it. All you do is sit around and do a half-assed job at everything.
We don't sit around and do nothing. At least I don't.
I know you all are. I've seen it with my own eyes time and time again. Especially you, Kendall. So I'm going to break you down and rebuild you from the ground up, all right? So be ready. It will not be easy. And I'm going to be honest and say that you will cry even more now with me working on you than when you were a baby.
But listen, what's with you putting up that camera in the living room to watch over me all the time? That right there shows me that you're taking this way too far. You're trying to make it really hard for me to have any time to take a break and relax.
You have no right to be allowed a break time in this house. When you are here, you have to work every second of the day, making sure the place is spotless and smells like nothing besides detergent. You will not stop working. I'll make sure of it, you useless woman.
Useless woman?
Kendall, are you okay? You look like you've been slaving away all day. Why don't you take a break and sit down for a bit?
Oh, Tiana, you're so kind to care about me, but I can't afford to rest right now. I was told that I'm worthless, and that if I don't finish the chores, I'll be in big trouble.
What are you saying?
Well, it's a long story, but just know that I have no choice but to keep working. I appreciate that you notice my efforts, but I'm afraid I can't stop today.
Is this because of Haley? Did she say something to make you feel this way? I know her type. This sounds like her doing.
Yes, she did. She said this is to teach me a lesson, and that this is for my own good, so that I can stay in this family.
I see. That woman is obsessed with making everyone the perfect wife for her son. She's too old to be acting like this. Listen, Kendall, you don't have to listen to a word she says. You can really take as many breaks as you want.
Really? But
You've done more than enough cleaning already. It would be unfair to make you work any longer. I want you to join us and tell us more about yourself. We're all here to have a good time and chat.
okay, thank you so much for looking out for me. It means a lot to me.
By the way, have you talked to Isaiah about this? Told him how Haley is pushing you too hard? I'm sure he would stand up for you against his mother, knowing what she's done for you.
Not yet. There hasn't been anything serious enough to make me go to him yet. Besides, Isaiah is busy with some work projects, and I don't want to bother him with this. I don't want him to worry about his mom and me when he has other things to focus on.
You say that, but I think he's very concerned about you and how you're coping with his mother-in-law. I'm sure he could tell that something's wrong. So I really think you should talk to him soon.
Well, you're right about Haley being too much today. I will try to talk to him, or at least do something to get his attention.
Oh, really? I didn't expect you to say anything after telling me you didn't want to disturb him. Well, that makes me feel better. I think you'll be okay then.
I hope so. Please don't worry about me too much. I'll find a way to deal with this. You go ahead and enjoy yourself with the others.
I will, but I'll keep an eye on you.
You! Where the hell have you gone? Hurry up right now and get back here and get more work done. Plates are beginning to pile up in the sink.
I'm sorry, but I'm at the hospital right now.
Huh? The hospital? You're not some kind of nurse, right? You're a housewife that needs to stay in the home. Why do you think it was important of you to go to this hospital at a time like this?
Even if I'm not a nurse or anything like that, when I'm not doing well, I have the right to go to a hospital, correct? So let me explain what's happened. I happened to bleed a ton when you hit me in the head with that dinner tray and had to go to the hospital to get myself checked out. Are you happy to have your explanation now?
Huh? Why would there ever be any blood coming out of your head? I barely even hit you.
Are you kidding? Take a look at the gosh dang sofa that I was sitting on, please. There's blood all over it still, right?
And that's evidence of why it's not okay for you to be sitting on my sofa at all, right? You are a housewife and have work left to do. So there's no way I was going to allow you to slack off.
What is so bad about me taking a second to sit on the sofa? And it's not even like I was sitting down in the same room as all the rest of the people, right?
A wife like you has no right to even a millisecond of sitting time. I already told you all of this before, right? Another thing. Why were you showing all of the guests today to that other room in the house? It's because of you showing them to the room all the way on the other side of the house that they've made my job harder by being so far away from the kitchen.
I just assumed, since that other room had a much more relaxed vibe to it, it'd be easier on everyone, and they wouldn't have to continue sitting on that old couch in the living room.
Well, you made work on yourself only grow even more by doing something like that, right? I've had enough of this, so get your butt back to the house. I need you back here working right now.
Why are you being so strict with your son's wife like this?
I'm doing all of this for your sake, that's why. Back when I was your age, I had the same thing happen between myself and my mother-in-law, who worked me very hard.
Are you talking about Tiana?
That's right. I was given the most strict upbringing by her that any wife has ever had on this planet. And that's why I'm going to make you work as hard as I was forced to.
So this is what all that hard work was about. It's because of your own past that you decided to hit me outside the head with a dinner tray and make me bleed?
Shut up! This all has to do with you always being a frickin' brat, talking back to me like you have any say. You are worse than any other housewife I've known. Why did my sweet little boy have to end up marrying such a useless woman like you? Now get your butt back to this house. I'm going to make you work as all wives are supposed to.
I told you, it's not going to happen now. I'm in the hospital at the moment to get my head taken care of. Also, why would I ever want to go back to some place where the person who assaulted me is at?
You think that I assaulted you just then? Stop being so overdramatic. I had to make sure to reset your brain after you thought it was a good idea to take a break while you were cleaning and catering to my friends and family. What the hell do you think you're doing? Going to a hospital after getting hit in the head with a simple tray? Wait, what are you doing? Why do you think you have to punch me now?
You want to know why? Because you decided to sit down with the rest of us when you were the wife of the house.
I'm the wife. But
From my point of view, you are a younger wife than me in this house. Therefore, you don't get to have any time and take any breaks. You have to work all the time to clean this place up and serve everyone right. And so far, you've only shown me that you're a useless woman.
oh, wait. That's because
So, tell me why you thought it was a good idea to sit on the sofa like that. Are you trying to tell me that punching you would be taking things too far? It's pretty bold of you to say, when just a couple of weeks ago you sent your daughter-in-law to the hospital after hitting her in the head with a dinner tray.
well, I didn't do that in front of everyone. I made sure to do that in a place where none of you guys could see it happen.
And that's because you knew if you did something as ridiculous as that in front of everyone else, they'd have some awful things to say about you.
Well, that's
That's right? After all, you did hit her in the head with a darn dinner tray. And no matter what reason you may have had for that, the rest of us would not forgive you for it, right?
You have no right to be saying things like this about me.
And here we go again with that horrible attitude of yours. You really have me thinking once again about your actions. It's like you're back to the same old toxic woman from back in the day.
Shut up! You were the one that treated me like crap when you started to train me to be a good wife. You wanted to make sure that a young wife like me back then would be perfect. And that's why you treated me so poorly at the house. I'm not going to let you say you forgot about all of that.
So you were trying to say that the reason you treated Kendall so poorly is because of the way you were treated by your mother-in-law back in the day?
That's exactly right. That's a fact.
Well, I don't ever remember treating any way that was unfair or unjust back then. I only happened to tell you were making mistakes, that you were wrong from a mother's perspective.
Nope. You absolutely did not do that. You tried to abuse me back then in order to do everything you'd ask of me. It's probably because of all that stress you had that you'd pick fights with me and bully me.
Well, you would go out and spend the family credit card on things that were only meant for yourself and without anyone's permission. And you'd use your husband's company money to take yourself on all kinds of high-end hotels for the week, right? You were the worst wife ever back then.
This has nothing to do with what's going on right now.
I think it has every bit of a connection to what's been going on here. You happen to go against everything the family asked you to stop doing. What you were doing was laced with problems. It had to stop. That's the reason for everything that happened after, right? Have you still not come around to accepting that yet?
Oh, you're so annoying. I was still young back then, so stop trying to put all the blame on me for what happened back then.
And Kendall is the same age now, just about that. You were back then when all this was going on. Right?
I can't do this anymore. I told you to shut up because you're being so annoying right now. An old witch like you needs to shut the hell up already.
Jesus Christ, you've fallen right back into where you started.
You don't think that you can get away with things now just because you've become friends with that old witch? I promise you I'll destroy that old witch if that's what you really want to see. And then I'll have you trapped with nowhere left to run.
Destroy her?
I mean, exactly what I said there. Did you know that she hit me in the head with a tray as well now? And she did that in front of all my family and friends that were gathered here. So I will take her to court and sue her butt. Ha ha ha.
What? But Haley, you did the exact same thing to me a little while back, right? Do you think it's okay that you're the only one allowed to do things like that?
I was doing it as a way to get you to stop messing around. But that old witch only did it as a way of picking on me in front of everyone.
Your way of getting me to stop. I'm sorry, but that's not the way I saw it. When you hit me so hard, you lacerated my head. If you really are going to be suing Tiana over this, then I'm going to sue you for hitting me in the head.
Excuse me? What the hell are you talking about?
Hold on. You've been talking about this the whole time, right?
Well, listen, miss. Do you even have any evidence of me hitting you in the head with any dinner tray?
Are you kidding me?
I never hit you in the head with anything, not even a dinner tray. Tiana may be saying that she saw something like that happen, but in her old age, I'm sure her eyes are not 20/20, right?
I can't believe this. It's like you're not even human anymore. That's how screwed up your head is. Not only are you just an awful mother-in-law, but at this point, I think you're better off being locked up in some asylum for the way you're behaving.
Ah, are you trying to make fun of me now? I'll take you to court as well over something like that.
I'm sure you may have forgotten this, but the room you hit me in the head with that dinner tray in happens to be the same room you installed that camera in to watch me.
Huh?
So that night, when I came back to the house, I went and saved all the recordings on that camera to my phone. And so the evidence of you hitting me really hard over the head with that dinner tray and all the blood that came out of me after is saved on my phone.
So that's why you had all those people at the time moved over into the other room to relax for a bit.
That's right. I was thinking it'd be the best place to do it, since you probably wanted to keep all your actions a secret from everybody else. However, I never thought you'd end up assaulting me in any way when I chose to take a small break on the sofa.
Then what about the place that Tiana ended up hitting me in the head at?
You had that happen to you back in that other room where there is no camera installed at. Haley, you keep talking about how someone like Tiana hit you in the head the same way you hit me, but are you sure something like that really took place?
This? You'd better stop messing around. Well, it's all going to be okay. There may be no video evidence, but there were a ton of other bystanders in the room at the time that witnessed what happened to me. I'll ask them all to come and help me, and then I'll have the two of you ruined for the rest of your lives.
And I hope that all goes well for you.
You! What have you done to my son? And my husband? What did you tell them?
What do you think I told them?
Don't play dumb with me. My son just called me and said he never wants to see me again.
Well, maybe that's because he doesn't like how you abused his wife and sent her to the hospital with a head injury. You can calm down, because I didn't say anything to him. He made up his own mind.
That's a lie. You must have poisoned his mind against me. And what about my husband? He just asked me for a divorce. How do you explain that?
I think he had enough of your cruelty, too. He saw what you did to me and decided to leave you. Haley, you can't blame anyone but yourself. You've alienated everyone who cared about you. You've been a horrible person all along.
How dare you? This is all your fault. I was only trying to help you. You are a terrible wife and a terrible woman. And now everyone is turning their back on me? Why me?
The only terrible wife here is you, Haley.
What do you want from me, you old hag?
Look at you. You can't handle the truth, so you resort to insults. You're the only one who's messed up everything, but you are too selfish to admit it. You're still the same monster you were before. I have no words for you.
You always act like you are better than everyone else. Do you think you are flawless?
No, I'm not flawless, but I'm certainly better than you. And not the one who attacked and injured my daughter-in-law.
Shut up!
You know that my son is divorcing you, right? That means you and I are done. We'll never have to speak to each other again. Good riddance.
Is that why you called me? Just to rub it in my face? You are the one with the black heart.
Oh, please. You're the one who called me an old hag. I hate that name, and that's why I'm furious with you. And I won't let you off the hook. I'll make sure that you never touch my family again and that you suffer for the rest of your miserable life.
Enough. I'm sick of you all ganging up on me.
Too bad. This is goodbye forever.
Haley, can you please stop stalking my house like that? We're done with you, so just give up and leave us alone.
How can you say that? Kendall, that house was my home for 30 years. I'm begging you to forgive me. Please, let me back into your lives.
It's not up to me, Haley. You lost your husband when he divorced you, and there's nothing I can do to change that. Just go back to your parents or wherever you came from.
I don't want to go back there. I want to live with you in that house. I'll say sorry for everything I did to you. Please have mercy on me. I'm asking you to help me.
It's too late for that. And there's nothing I can do to help you after all the damage you caused. Now, if you keep hanging around our house and making trouble, I'll have to call the cops and get you arrested.
No, please don't call the cops on me. I won't bother you guys, okay? I'll go away soon.
Wait, Haley, are you hiding something from the cops?
No, I'm not hiding anything. I just don't want to deal with the cops right now. They terrify me, that's all.
Well, I get that some people are afraid of the cops. It's normal. But Haley, if you did something wrong that they're looking for you, you should just turn yourself in and admit it.
I told you, I didn't do anything wrong, so stop worrying about me. Anyway, let me ask you this. Do you think you'll ever forgive me?
Forgive you? After what the rest of the family told me about you, I want nothing to do with you. So just get it and go.
But what if I really change this time and treat you better?
The problem is, you never change. You always go back to being a witch. You complain about everything, even the most luxurious hotels. You're never satisfied, are you? After that, I blocked my mother-in-law's number and cut off all contact with her. But she didn't give up. She kept coming to our house and spying on us. So I called the cops on her and got rid of her for good. I was a bit worried that she was up to no good, since she was so scared of the cops. And I was right. One day, I saw her on the news. She was arrested for stealing purses. She was snatching them from people and selling them at pawn shops for cash. And that's not all. She was also driving with an expired license, which got her in more trouble. I couldn't believe how low she had sunk and how stupid she was. I couldn't help but laugh at her getting caught. She had to pay a huge amount of money to the victims and a fine for driving illegally. She was broken and defeated. She left town and went back to her hometown to look for help. She ended up staying with her older sister and her husband. She seemed to calm down and stay out of trouble for a while. I hoped that maybe she had learned her lesson and changed her ways, but I was wrong again. After a month, she started stealing from her sister and pawning her stuff. Her sister found out and her husband kicked her out. She begged them to let her back in, but they didn't listen. They called the cops on her again. This time, she got a harsher sentence. She got 6 months in jail for theft. She cried like a baby. She didn't learn anything from her first arrest. Maybe this time she'll get some sense. Or maybe she'll end up in jail for life, or worse. As for me and my family, we've been much happier without her. I'm living a peaceful life as a housewife with my husband and my father-in-law. And I'm so grateful to Tiana for standing up to her for me. I still invite her over with the rest of the family and friends often to show my gratitude. But I don't work myself to death anymore. I relax and chat with them sometimes. Life is good.